Hey everybody, wanted to make this video today to let you know that I've just uploaded to my website, needlemeetsvinyl.com, 3 new Beatles albums, and let's get right into it. So the first one on the website is A Hard Day's Night. This is a stereo UK pressing, and it's from the mid-1970s, and it absolutely sounds fantastic. I've had, I think, 3 other pressings of this almost identical pressing up on the website before. They go so quickly, and every single person that's picked one up has loved it. This is truly an analog, just slice of perfection. It's so wonderful. And when it comes to A Hard Day's Night, I really think the stereo mix is fantastic. I prefer the stereo mix over the mono mix. That's not to say that I don't love the mono mix as well, because I do. But I really think the stereo mix for A Hard Day's Night is excellent. It's really well balanced, and you can really just hear so much depth inside the recordings. You can hear the instrumentation very well. The vocals sound great, and this pressing really presents them in the best way possible. I'll show you the record. The record, by the way, is just so close to near mint. It is like really a pristine condition for a record. And there it is. You can see it looks very nice there on the Parlophone label. And it's just a fantastic listen. And if you're looking for A Hard Day's Night, a stereo pressing of A Hard Day's Night, this is the one for you. Here's Bobby saying hello. So definitely head over to the website and check this one out, because it will go quickly. I made a video yesterday, and all 3 of those records were gone within, I think, like an hour to 2 hours. They were gone very quickly. So if you are interested in A Hard Day's Night, make sure to head over there right now. Okay, the next record is the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. Now, Yellow Submarine, it took me a long time to get this on the website, but I got one on here, or on the website rather, like last month, and I've really been trying to get another one on the website, and I finally have it here. So this pressing of Yellow Submarine is really fantastic, and Bobby even thinks so. He's going to come check it out. He's going to come check out the iPad as well. He's just off camera over here. Oh, there he is. But this pressing of Yellow Submarine is fantastic, and it's a very clean record, which is always really important. But the most important thing is how it sounds. And the great thing, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, this is a UK pressing as well. And the great thing about this is it has fantastic sounding bass. Now, I always in these videos talk about how important the bass is, especially when it comes to these Beatles pressings. The reason I do, though, is because a lot of pressings of the Beatles albums just seem to lack bass. And a lot of the original CDs that were released for the Beatles albums, a lot of the CDs that we grew up with, they lacked a lot of bass as well. So for a lot of people, hearing these pressings on vinyl, it's like a revelation, because the bass is so prominent and it's so realistic sounding. And if you've only heard digital bass, and by the way, digital bass can sound good as well, but if you've only heard digital bass and you hear a really great pressing that has analog bass on it, and you hear it for the first time, it is like night and day. There's nothing quite like hearing really well recorded bass on a great sounding record. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And that's what this Yellow Submarine pressing has, especially on Hey Bulldog, which is arguably, in my opinion, one of Paul McCartney's best bass lines, and it's so prominent on this pressing. Really fantastic. And I don't want to forget, by the way, that side 2, which has George Martin's orchestra scores from the movie, also sound absolutely breathtaking. And I said it before on the last time when I posted this record on my website, that I think even side 2 might sound better sonically than side 1. That's not to say that side 1 doesn't sound fantastic, because it does, but side 2 is truly breathtaking. So Yellow Submarine is up on the website now, so check that out. And last but not least, we have Beatles for Sale. This is an extra special one because this is again from the mid-1970s. You might be seeing a recurring theme here. Well, now for a lot of the Beatle pressings, I do like I tend to like the mid 1970s pressings because they sound so great and they were pressed so well. And because the original 1960s pressings of Beatles albums are just insanely expensive, almost impossible to find in near mint condition. The list goes on and on. So that's why most of the time I find the mid 1970s UK pressings are just the top-notch ones to go for. That being said, of course, titles like Revolver, Magical Mystery Tour, Help, Please Please Me, Let It Be, those titles are the best pressings are not from the mid 1970s and not UK pressings. In fact, like with the Revolver, I find the German pressing from the early 1970s, late 60s is the best. Same with the Help album. The mid 1970s German pressing for Help is, in my opinion, the best. And the list goes on and on and on. But these just happen to be from the mid 1970s. And this particular pressing of Beatles for Sale is one of the early pressings from a blue box. And the way you can tell that is that on the back of the album, it has a little strip that goes down. Actually, on this one, it happens to be in the gatefold. There's a little strip that goes down right here, and you can't really see it on camera, but I promise it's there. And that strip right there has a little like gloss on it, is what I would call it, and that indicates that this is a very, very early pressing of this album. And all those early pressings tend to sound the absolute best. Now, that's not always true, but most of the time it's true. And in this case, it is definitely true because this one sounds really, really nice. Very, very warm sounding, and just an absolute pleasure to listen to. Now, again, like A Hard Day's Night, I love the stereo mix of Beatles for Sale. I prefer the stereo mix over the mono mix, but I also, again, love the mono mix as well. So the stereo mix, in my opinion, is the way to go for Beatles for Sale. And, of course, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what about the 2009 stereo remasters? How does that compare to this pressing? Well, in my opinion, the stereo remasters from 2009 are very good, and they're cool to own and definitely fun to listen to. But if you really want the authentic sound of the Beatles, these pressings are the way to go. Because you can't really duplicate this absolutely all analog sound. You just can't do it digitally, and you can't do it with modern day record pressings, in my opinion, unless you go completely all analog, like they did, by the way, in 2014 with the mono remasters they released on vinyl, which was a completely analog pressing. And those, the proof is in the pudding because they sound absolutely amazing, and I love those pressings a lot. But back to this stereo pressing of Beatles for Sale. So it has HTM on both sides, and it's just an absolutely brilliant, warm, in-depth listen for Beatles for Sale, which happens to be one of my favorite Beatles albums as well. So just a great, great sounding record, and if you're interested in picking up Beatles for Sale, now's your chance. So let me put this back in here if I can do it in a timely manner. I don't think I will be able to. Nope. Not going to waste time. So I will do that after I turn the camera off. But if you want to pick up Beatles for Sale, Yellow Submarine, or A Hard Day's Night, or all three of them, go to my website, needlemeetsvinyl.com. Check it out. They will go very, very quickly. And stay tuned for more Beatles albums because I have more coming up, including an amazing sounding pressing of Let It Be, which I will be posting probably later this week. I also have some jazz records coming, including Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, and just a bunch of great stuff. So stay tuned, and hey, take care. Be healthy, be safe, have fun, and bye for now.